Hello, everybody, and welcome to Best of the West. I am Jake Brown here with Kenji Ito. It is 1 o'clock on a Wednesday. We got NFL games this weekend. Let's talk NFC West as we do every single week on the show. Kenji, what do you got for us?
So I think the 49ers are the most interesting so far this season. So let's talk about them first. So obviously, every NFL watcher saw Trey Lance get injured, and Jimmy Garoppolo comes in as he's the backup. So how does this really affect the targets for receivers, as the receivers have been really struggling since Lance is more of a struggling quarterback?
Well, I think before Lance got injured, I think people were jumping on the bench Trey Lance bandwagon really early.
Mm-hmm.
That was only his third start of his career,
exactly.
third or fourth start of his career. And he wasn't terrible. He was actually pretty solid the first half.
He just panicked a little bit, but I mean, that kind of comes around when you're kind of getting your feet wet in the NFL system. But go ahead.
Yeah, and what I think people forget is that Jimmy G took this Niners team to the NFC Championship last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few years ago, Jimmy G took them to the freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I think the Niners might actually be better under Jimmy G, especially because him and Debo have that connection that was set last year. And that would vastly help my fantasy team.
Yeah, definitely. Same here. I think, he's an all right quarterback, and we talked about him in the past. But I think that the offense is going to start get rolling, and fantasy numbers for Ayuk, Jeff Wilson, and Deebo Samuel are obviously going to go up. But speaking of Jeff Wilson, there's another running back that's probably his friend. He's going to miss a couple of weeks. Tyrion Davis-Price, who is probably the third string running back on the 49ers. So, are the 49ers going to pass more since they only have one reliable option to run?
I think they will. And Jimmy G is a pocket passer. He is not going to be scrambled. He's not Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
He's not Russell Wilson. He's not, the passing game is going to be what's going to work out for this Niners team, especially with that offensive line.
Yeah.
Keeping Jimmy G in the pocket, making sure he's not going to throw deep. He's a check down quarterback, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
But they just really need to rely on Debo and Ayuk to be able to provide some offense whenever they have the ball.
Yeah, and also Kittle is hurt, so I mean,
exactly,
that's huge. He's probably the second best tight end in the NFL, and it's kind of a safety target to Jimmy G. But yeah, I think if you only have Jeff Wilson as your an active running back currently, I think that players get tired, they need to get subbed out, so they're probably gonna rely more on passing to Debo, maybe using Debo as a running back as they already have in the season.
Make sure you sub out Gerald Everett when he says he's tired.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing that. That was interesting for sure.
I was researching you over the past week or so, and I was really surprised that you don't have a broadcasting degree, but an English literature and language degree. Mm-hmm. What about language? Because you say you love language as much as baseball. What about language kind of intersects with baseball that makes it so special?
I think the language of baseball has essentially become the language of America. There's little phrases that we use all the time about coming up to at bats, scoring runs, things like that we use as metaphors for other things. And so I really do think that now, kind of where we are with baseball being, something that's pretty much taken for granted in America, the language has become language itself. And, I went along playing baseball until high school, and kind of felt like some of it started to intersect with things we were doing in English class, where I was writing about baseball and I was writing about my experiences with it. And I think my teacher, my junior year English teacher, Chuck Hussong, shout out Chuck Hussong, said to us, we were talking about the student literary magazine called Gadfly. And and he was kind of excoriating us for not reading it. He said, how many people have read the issue? Nobody had read it. And this was the honors English class. So I think he was good to be disappointed. And he was kind of excoriating us. And he just said, he was talking about how there was an absurdist drawing in the magazine. And it was like different statues around the campus had been replaced by everyday objects. And he said, St. Ignatius was a flashlight. And then he kind of paused. He said, I don't think in the history of the English language, those words have ever been said. St. Ignatius was a flashlight. And so that's something I love about language is you can do something that's never been done. And as far as the broadcast work has gone, I would say I've done this for 8 years. I'd say the first 4 years of my career, 3 or 4 years, it was essentially like paint by number, because you can always come up with another phrase to describe a ground ball that's already been used, or a fly ball, or a double play. And in the next 4 years of my career, I really made it my challenge to try to see if I could say something different each time, or most of the times, really just to keep it interesting for myself, and to see if I could take some of those more creative instincts that I had nurtured in high school and college and creative writing programs, and really make it my own.
Is that where all of your like creative phrases that you say come from? Is trying to sound different than, just a sharp ground ball to right field base hit? Just more kind of robotic.
Oh, absolutely. I do think that baseball is just riddled with cliches, and as original as I try to be, I know I fall into them as well. That's the challenge, and that's the fun, is how can you generate something that's not been, I guess, said before, or not been emphasized before. And so, yeah, that's a really big part of, I guess, my goal.
Did this player play indie ball? And then we're going to talk about, if we have time, about a 2020 league that was so fun. So, first up, 2 players on the 2001 Expos. Curtis Pride or Milton Bradley?
Milton Bradley. I feel like he played for the Birds.
Milton Bradley.
I'll go Bradley.
Y'all are wrong. It is Curtis Pride. He played
Who?
for the Nashua Pride, Connecticut.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Nashua?
Say that again?
Nashua?
Nashua?
Yeah, is that?
I've never heard of
Nashua?
that.
Nashua?
It sounds familiar, but I've never
It's
heard
from
of
The
that.
Office. Have y'all ever heard?
yeah.
And,
that's
and the
in
Southern Maryland Blue Crabs.
Oh, I've been muted. It's Nashua, right? It's Nashua. Why is
Nashua.
he saying
It's
it
Nashua.
wrong?
Nashua.
I've
Holly-
never heard.
I've
Holly-
never heard
it's-
of Nashua.
Holly's gotten moved up to the Nashua branch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the Nashua whatever. Yeah,
Nashua.
Nashua.
Okay,
Keep going.
Jesus. Michael Pineda or Randy Dobnak?
Michael Pineda, the Pine Tar King himself. Randy Dobnak was definitely a Sioux Falls Canary.
Dobnak is it's got to be Dobnak.
Michael Pineda. Why not?
2 of the 3 of you are right, except the fact that he wasn't a canary. He was a Utica unicorn.
Utica. That's what I know. I know Utica.
Yeah,
They're
in
called the
United.
Unicorns.
They are called the Unicorns. They are in the United Shore
That's
League.
actually a stellar name.
All right, Torey Lavello or his son Nick Lavello?
Neither of them had a big impact in the major leagues. I mean, Torey Lavello is a great manager.
Yeah, I was about to say Torrey at least had a name for himself to become a manager.
I'm gonna say it, Tori.
I'm gonna say Nick.
I was
Nick.
gonna go Nick too.
3 of the 4 of you are right. It is Nick Lavello. He played for the Kane County Cougars and the Joliet Slammers.
I'm never.
Ricky,
playing
there's a
again.
cougar in the car.
I'm never playing this game again. That
All
was
right.
One time.
2 catchers for the Oakland A's. Which one?
Stephen
played
Vogt.
No. He also did not play for a minor league or independent league team.
You're wrong, Jeffrey. Boo.
Derek Norris or Josh Fegley?
Josh Fegley.
Josh Fugly.
I was gonna say Josh Begley just for the last name. So yeah, I'll go him.
Neither of you are correct. It is Derek Norris of the
boo.
Sugarland Skeeters.
I was about to say if the
Skeeters.
Who are
Sugar
now
Space
the-
Cowboys were ever
who
an
are-
independent ball team, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
All right, finally, we got another father-son duo.
Finally, you You forgot my drink. My Diet Dr. Kelp. Finally.
You forgot my drink?
Roger Clemens or Cody Clemens?
Cody.
Cody Clemens.
Cody.
All of you are correct and incorrect. It is both of them. It is Cody Clemens and Roger Clemens.
That's a
You
cheap
gave us
shot.
an
That
or,
doesn't
not
count.
an
Boo.
You should have said
You
or
said
both.
did this player, not did these players.
Okay, I should have done that. You're right. But Cody played for Team Texas.
Team
and
Texas.
That is the name of the team, was Team Texas, which was subsequently owned by Roger Clemens. And Roger Clemens played 2 starts for the Sugarland Skeeters.
He was a player owner.
He owned
LeBron James who?
He owned Team Texas
How does this affect his
and
legacy?
played for the Sugarland Skeeters in 2019.
Imagine saying I played for Team Texas.
Yes.
Team Texas.
I was
That's like,
looking it up.
that's like
Washington
Little League
football
World
team.
Series stuff.
He
I played
also
for Team Texas.
he
and I'm
also won
13
the-
years old.
I went for the
also won
Washington
the
football
Texas
team,
and the
baby.
Back
Rangers
in my
pretty much.
day, back when Texas was just all oil fields, we just played ball in an oil field. It was just crude oil spewing out of the spigot.
Cody Clemens also won the team MVP.
Imagine being the MVP of Texas. What do you get as a prize? Do you get a giant belt buckle?
I guess. Maybe
Hey, Patrick,
maybe a
what am
Texas
I now?
Texas.
Stupid. No.
No, you know what you get if you win? You get a spur.